Alright, today I'm working on the service truck. Just replaced the injectors in it. Probably should have filmed that, but there's several videos out there of injectors. It's got the DT466E, the Huey system. Had one that had a fuel knock. It was leaking pretty bad, and one others was getting a little old, and looked like the engine been rebuilt in like 2017, and they replaced them all at that time, but a couple of them were piecemeal, so we went ahead and put all new reman in. But what I'm working on right now, I figured while I had it in there, it'd be an easy project to take the old bench seat out, put a couple air rod seats in. I got a couple used air rod seats, and I got the bases off right now, so it's easier to work on. And it was pretty nice at first. They when I took the bench seat out, there's threads in the floor, so you don't have to worry about putting nuts on the other side. And it had threads for the other side. These I cut out to expose to add the air rod seat. And of course, they're not like anything on the adapter plates, so I had to drill the plates. I measured this side, and I just looked over at that side, and I assumed they'd be the same. But front to back, the holes are the same, but they changed the dimension left to right. And one over there is like 3/4 of an inch. There's nothing nominal, so it must have been in millimeters or something. 3/4 inch wider. So I'm going to redo that one, but I'm not gonna probably show drilling the holes. I'll take them up to the shop and re-drill that again. But there was no air to the back for seats before because it wasn't air rod. So I got the panel torn apart. There's if you've ever had to work on one of these 4700s, and you're looking, there is a manifold to add air options. Up in there you can see the green line going in, and there's 2 different sizes on there. There's a 1/4 inch is the size I want, so I'm going to roll that over. We'll run it down through the accessories there. They had a bunch of light accessories in here that we took out at the same time that we don't need. And so I'll come back to the video when I get the holes corrected for that side, and go plumb the air from there back to here, and hopefully we'll get some nice bucket air rod seats in here instead of that bench seat. It was pretty rough on your back. Okay, so I separated the base so I could work on it easier. I'm just bolting it back on now, and I believe it seems like you're better off working on the driver's side first, doing it from the passenger side. The steering wheel gets in your way trying to work over there. So everything I've done, I ripped everything out. I started on the driver's side, which was sort of a mistake because, like I said, this hole pattern is different. However, it's a lot easier working on that seat turned around this way and then flip it around. So I'm going to bolt this back on. I'm not sure how interesting it'll be. Bolt the seat back to the base. There wasn't a lot of information on these 4700s out there. I was hoping this might help somebody else that never had to take the bench out and put in air ride seats. Just had to dig around and find the manifold, had to dig around, find the holes under the carpet, which wasn't really bad, but finding out they were different was bad. This is a Bostrom seat here. Bought a couple used seats. The Bostrom, I mean, heck, I'm giving you a review on 2 used seats, but the Bostrom seems to be a little more comfy. The other one's on them E seats. I think that's what it is, E seat. I can't remember. This is a Bostrom. Let's see what the other guy is. I liked working on this one better than the Bostrom, but I'm not sure it's going to be as comfortable. It's the Legacy and seats. Well, I'll reverse the armrests on them because they were both set up for passenger seats, so in pretty good shape. I liked working on that seats better because all of the bolts were captive. The studs coming up from the adapter plate were captive. There wasn't some weird Allen bolts recessed in some areas like this right here I'm about to put back on. But I believe this Bostrom is going to be a little more, or however you pronounce it, it'll be a little more comfy. Got more adjustments too, but I believe it'll be a better. They're in pretty good shape. They're a little dirty, but it's a service truck. They're going to get dirty. Brought a ratchet for that. I think I was being a little over optimistic. Might be able to get a 1/4 inch in there, but we shall see. Caked in Loctite, so 1/4 turn at a time. I guess it's good. You'll be riding down the road and your seat fall off. I'll snug him up in a minute. Alright, I'm going to snug these up and hope they line up in the back. I'll have to keep sliding it back and forth. Alright, let's see if we can get to the back of this. Alright, how on earth? Oh, yeah, it needs to come forward. Come on. There we go. This is not as interesting as a rebuild, but I don't know. Not a lot of info out there on putting used seats in a 4700, but I just took the bases off so it was easier to measure on this model here. It was a lot easier to manage to get the base in here and get everything lined up. Just 4 bolts instead of having to work with the whole seat. Remember, right, these barely had room to get the nut in there. At least when you're working on the service truck, tools are close. Alright, what are you doing, bub? So much Loctite on there, I don't know what's thread and what's Loctite. It still feels crooked. Okay. It must be thread. That up a bit till we get the other one done. Boy, they barely got room in there for those guys. There's some guy out there's installed 1,000 seats, shaking his fist at me right now. That's great. That's just a video, man. There's a lot of videos out there showing you taking the seat out and bolting one in just to, for the exact model, but these came out of a newer International, and I was hoping that something on the adapter plate would line up, but nah, the newer ones are a lot wider. Tighten those front ones down just a little bit more, but I'll wait till I get it in the truck. Man, they can get much room in there. You can get the box in to have 12 points. Tighten it with the rack, with the wrench, goes back in there. Oh. Now on the seats I was showing you about over there, I don't know if it's E-seats or what the brand is. This bolt there's a similar setup, but the bolt is captive. It's attached to it, so you don't end up having to put that bolt back in there. Put the nut on, you're good to go. Pretty cool. If you had to do a lot of seats, that's what I would go with. Alright, it should be pretty snug on the back. Yeah. Bring it around here so we can get it bolted in. Plumb her up. I believe you can unbolt that seat and move it back and forth on this plate, but I dummied it all up and the measurements were really close to what the stock bench seat was, and still had some adjustments, so well, let's see what it does. Rubber. Alright. And it's slid all the way forward now. Oh. Looks right. I don't understand the lock on this. It's locked that way. Ah, there she goes. I've never been in the forwardmost position this whole way. Yeah. Alright, now that I got it back there, just pretty easy. Alright, so that, still got some room here. One more notch. Make sure those are lined up. On that stock seat, there's about 14 inches right there. It's about the same. The stock height was 17, so it looks like it's a little below that, but we ain't got no air in the air ride yet, so plenty of headroom. I think it'll be a little better than the bench seats. I'm just going to throw those 4 bolts in there. I've already dummied it up, so it should go fairly easy. We'll throw those 4 bolts in there and I'll come back in a minute. Okay, got all the bolts started. Ran in, these ones here ran in pretty good. Just like anything in sheet metal or imprecise. You always want to get them all. You don't want to tighten them down. Of course, they barely left room for a ratchet in there, but again, this seat, I had to make these holes a little wider. But again, it's been pretty cool being able to work from the passenger side, because that bolt back there you can't get to very well. You should get a little universal joint for that. These inside ones here, these bolts have never been used, so they're a little rusty. I broke out the anti-seize. But it's fairly easy going. I don't know, like I said, it probably depends on the model you get. This Bostrom was wide enough to cover just the bracket. Got it. I took the adapter bracket off. Its base was wide enough to cover the bolt holes on this side. On the passenger side, it'd be close, but it would still work. That other seat, it's going to have the adapter plate on, because the base is, it's right at the edge of where you'd have to put the bolts in, about 1 inch on each side. So, man, I sure brought out the powered ratchet. These inside holes, like I said, they hadn't been used, so they's a little bit rusty. And it's 90 degrees today, guys. It is hot. Thought I'd do something in the garage. At least you're in the shade, but there's no wind, there's no breeze. We'll go ahead and snug this one down, because all the rest of them are 90% in. Then I'll go snug the others. And the torque spec on that is tight. However tight you want to be driving down the road, holding your seat in. I put these signs on there. This truck, a cab in it. You think you're getting in a big truck, and it's big compared to a pickup or something, but it is not as tall as most other cabs. And you think you got headroom. I'm 6'2.5", 3", something like that, depending on what time of day it is. I have hit my head getting in this truck. I hope that helps. But it does. It is, you get in it and you think I can step up and in just like any other larger truck, and you can't. knock you silly. Sillier. Again, this is one of those inboard ones. Hadn't been used, but hard going, but you can tell it's good threads. It's going to tighten down. I had to buy some bolts for that side. I used all the ones from the bench seat for this side. Yeah, that rubber underneath there. Alright. That's good. One more. Not sure how much I'm going to get done on that other one today. Hard to do thinking today, so I'd like to get it mounted today. Come back and plumb it tomorrow morning when it cools down. Alright. Now. Whew. So there's what it looks like without air. Definitely a low rider right now, but I think really sweet compared to that old bench seat. Alright, I got the base for the passenger side screwed in, drilled the adapter plate, took out the middle seat belts since we wouldn't be using them, cleaned up that a little bit. Got a couple wires back in there. I want to figure out what they are because they're not being used and try to pull them out. Try to clean a few things up. Like I said, this one's a little easier to bolt on. You don't have to slide it back and forth. Just drop it in there and put some nuts on it. So I went ahead and bolted the base down. I'm going to get the seat, bolt it down, and then I'll try to work on the plumbing. Wait till tomorrow morning to work on the plumbing. It's getting a little bit warm in here. The passenger seat mounted. Will be pretty comfy. Yeah, I'm going to come out tomorrow and plumb it up. Try to shoot a little bit of that. But it'll be nice, I believe, and a lot better, nicer than those bench seats. Alright, here goes the second day. First thing I'm going to do is go run a 1/4 inch line to the back for the air. Like I said, there's a manifold in here for air accessories. You might be able to get to it without taking the dash out, but boy, it was tough. Those quick disconnects have been on there since 1998. I don't think it's supposed to just be hanging there either. It's got a bolt to mount it, but I don't see where it mounts. Like try to mount that before. Just like any old truck, guys decide to put bolts back in. But I got this one 1/4 inch quick disconnect off, so I'm gonna start there, run it down, back in there. Tried to get this bottom one off here. I think it would have lined up better, but man, it was fighting. It was tough to get. It never would come off. So see if we can get a black piece of our tubing in there, run it down. See if I can get you set up here where you can see something. It'll be another hot day, but we'll be it's Thursday. We'll probably be out getting the track ready for Saturday and Sunday. I don't know how many guys are going to ride in this heat. But the water. Alright, let's see if that's enough pulled off. There's no real good place for the camera. I'm gonna get him behind these two wire looms here. Behind there, I might have to take this one panel off. Harbor Freight LED light's great when it works, but it's got a magnet and a clamp. Let's see if we can get this routed to where it doesn't look so bad. Snug. I do not see where that was mounted anywhere. Huh. You just have that hanging there. There's a stud back there. Surely didn't go like that now. It won't reach there. There's something just hanging out. I don't know what that's for. It's probably some accessory it didn't have. It all looks stock. It's got a stock plate on it. Maybe they interrupted it right there and added that manifold for the trailer brakes. I don't know. Well, at any rate, make sure she don't leak. Got a lot of stuff hanging under this kick plate already. Hopefully we can get it in there. I took a few wires out because there was a light controller up there that we don't use. Alright, let's see if we can get it ran to the back now. Of course, in normal fashion, there wasn't a single screw in this. I'm trying to find some screws for it because I see it getting kicked out of there. Alright, now I plan on putting a T right here and run the other line over to the other side. Do push connects for everything. I have to cut that a little long so I can get everything raised up, see what it looks like. Let's see, there's the feed or the bag. Where is the feed coming from the control? Should be all right. Hope you can see this. Hope you can see this. This connector right here I got going on. This is just to connect the control panel to the bag. They had a they had a push connect on that so you could separate the seat from the bag. So this hose here, you can see, goes down the bag, and the part goes up to the controls. Then there's one line feeding the controls. I got it coming off the top of the T right over there. This line right here goes to the controls. Here's my supply coming in. You see me wire that in the dash. And then going out to the other seat over there. I left everything a little long because I don't know where it's going to set when I get everything raised up. There's where my supply comes in right there. Goes to that blue line to the other seat. The other seat, everything's just barbed fittings. There's no push connect or anything, and there's no clamp over it. I don't know, those barbs do hold pretty good, but I've never seen anything like that. But well, some newfangled connector. Panel back in. I'm gonna build up some air pressure now. 2x4. Forgot about that. Oh yeah. Lumbar works. Definitely better than the old bench seat. Let's see now. Oil pressure gauge is working. When I first got this, it didn't have that same problem at all. These internationals have a bunch of loose connections on the back of that. Had to resolder the board. Sounds a lot better than new injectors. See how it rides here in a minute, but it's almost like an episode of Pimp My Ride. It's pretty sweet. If that show's still on. Every time you take that panel off, it's the inner panel hell. If you've ever taken one apart, there's Velcro that holds that grid layer in. All those little panels, they want to fall out, and that Velcro, the glue on it's bad. All right, so I'll get this guy mounted. Say not bad for a junkyard seat. A little dirty, but it's going to get dirty. I think I got that dirt on it right there putting it in. Gotta get that panel stuck back up in there and clean up a few tools. But take her for a test drive. Let's see how these new seats ride. Already 9 o'clock. We'll have to head up to the track soon. Try and get ready for this weekend. Good, dude. I guess the automatic's a nice tool around town, but don't give you a lot of gear selection, I think, off-road. But I've never really driven one off-road. those 466Es because normally your valves tighten up because they start sinking in the head. I had a mix. Some were tight, some were loose. Good bounce there and I didn't hit my head, so I think we got enough headroom. Boy, she was close, so it's off the wind. That was well worth the upgrade. All right, guys, thanks for watching.